asked for this?
Goodbye, Kyle.
Said what I said, and I'm not changing on it, okay?
Goodbye, Kyle.
Who asked for this?
Here comes Peter bucking up his chest at me like he gonna do something.
Goodbye, Kyle.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the taste.
Who asked for this?
It could have been a scheme that Todd set up.
Goodbye, Kyle.
Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Brandy Janae, and welcome to my channel. It is lunchtime. Sit down. Prince Michael Jackson, you sit down. Y'all know he get jealous when I start talking to other people. Sit down. Hold on. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I am back. Okay, so listen, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Brandy Janae. Of course, this is Who Asked for This podcast. You know the drill. It's lunchtime. I just wanted to get into a hot topic for the weekend, which is that Miss Clarissa Sheilds, honey. Yes, let's get into Clarissa Sheilds and Papoose. First of all, let's start by saying congratulations. Listen, I don't follow boxing at all, not female boxing or male boxing. So I'm not really sure exactly what the title is and exactly what it means, but I know she did a TKO over the weekend, and so congrats to her for that. I feel like I've heard just a lot of people kind of say like history was made. Listen, I don't know if it's because she went into a new weight class or like, I'm not sure what that's all about. However, we are going to say congratulations to Clarissa for winning. Now, it means she knocked somebody out. Well, no, I'm saying, I don't know. It seems like there's being something said that she's done something somebody else hasn't done in boxing. But because I don't follow boxing, I am not quite sure what that would be or what that is. And so that's why I'm kind of guessing that it has something to do with the weight class that she went to and just fought in. So I don't know. Either way. Oh, well, hi, Chris. Happy Monday. Happy lunchtime. Thank you so much for joining me. But we are going to talk more about Clarissa because, over the last few months, it's just been a lot of chatter. Maybe even a year or so. I haven't kept up with the exact timeline of events. I just kind of know what comes across my timeline, and I'm just going to share y'all my feelings about it. Because sometimes, here's the thing. This is probably why I decided to come up with my podcast. Hold on, y'all. Let me get Prince Michael Jackson together. Okay, I'm back. So part of the reason why I decided to come up with my podcast is because I know that I have opinions that differ from what, let's say, the general public would believe. And I've always been that person, not on purpose. Like, I don't purposely try to find a way to have a different opinion than other people. I just have a different way of seeing things, viewing things. And also, I think I'm much more committed to my moral standing, right? And I think right there is the difference between a lot of individuals. Now I'm getting a call. Hold on, y'all. Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm back. Ain't nobody called me all morning. And as soon as I press go live, here we go. Michael Jackson, you too. Press Michael Jackson. Get your tail over here. Okay. Okay, see? Hold on, y'all. I'm about to put him up. Good night. You take a nap. All right, sorry. Prince Michael Jackson is tripping. Okay, I'm back. So, what I was saying is that a part of why I wanted to do my podcast and why it's important is because I do know that I have, like I said, a difference of opinion than a lot of people. And I think a lot of that is because I'm more committed to what my moral standings are. I am not quick to abandon my moral high ground, whatever it is. I don't abandon my morals. And that's no matter what it is that we're talking about, right? So we can be talking about celebrities that we don't know. We can be talking about, your best friend, or somebody you been in a relationship with for 20 some odd years. Whatever the case may be, I will have about the same opinion in anything that the subject matter is surrounding, right? So with that being said, let me just start here. I'm not here. I don't want to bash Clarissa. I really think that is sad. So when I saw that she won, of course, I was excited for her. But I did have the thought, and it's funny that Funky Dineva actually made a post that kind of took my thought and put it right on words or on screen. Because he was saying, it's really time for Clarissa to, let me go back to it really quick so I can read it directly. And I would have to say that I agree with him. Let's see. Okay, here it is. We actually owe it to the culture to support Clarissa Sheilds. And I 1,000% agree with that. Right? I do think that this girl is in this field and she is at the top of her game. Now, what I don't think helps her is the defensiveness she has to kind of attack all of the internet. And also, I think she would do much better if she just kept her relationship to herself. And, nobody's saying you have to hide him or anything like that. But what I am saying is maybe don't make that the focal point for what you're doing, right? Don't make that where that's what they want to ask you when you go into interviews, because that's kind of where I see things going left. And then she's defending herself, but she's not realizing that she's defending the wrong thing. Now, my opinion about Clarissa and Papoose relationship is as such. I think she deserves better. And interesting enough, she has a clip from her interview with Cam Newton, and she's telling, well, it's two different clips first, okay? The first one, how she was telling Cam about, that her and Pap was having a baby next year, and he seems really surprised by that. But I'm going to go ahead and play this clip, let y'all listen, and then we'll discuss after that.
What's the holdup? Divorce they've been to court and everything. Divorce doesn't happen overnight. They talking about, I don't know how long they was married, 16 something plus years. That's a lot of stuff to divide and figure out, and it's the kid involved. So it's not something that's like.
Have you had a relationship with the child?
No.
Okay, so that's completely separate.
But it's the kid though.
Yeah.
It's the kid. I don't think people should involve kids in grown folks' business. Okay. That's how I was raised. But whenever that time comes and they both decide, hey, it's time for her to do whatever, that's what happened. But I'm not. I got my own kids.
Do you guys stay together?
I would say it's like half and half. He got his place from New York. I have my place in Atlanta. We're together all the time. Like he's on his way here now.
Okay. And juggling the relationship, having not just being public figures, having children.
We having a baby next year. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, we having a baby next year.
Hey, how y'all gonna have it? You gonna have a child?
Who the hell gonna have a kid?
Man, listen here now. Don't listen.
What you mean?
I'm asking you, did you got it?
I'm not gonna have no surrogate.
Okay.
I can get pregnant like anybody else.
I never thought that. I'm not asking.
But why did you say that? Why did that first thing come to your mind?
Because number one, you're a boxer.
Yeah, I'm putting my career on hold.
That's cool. And number two, I know you have a minimum fight. Like you have certain fights that you have to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And number three, we're living in a day and age where surrogates are real. Adoption is real.
You know, I'm not adopting no kids. And I don't want nobody carrying no kid from me either.
Okay, we're going to stop it right there. Okay, see, like that clip for me, like her defensiveness in there, it's kind of like she doesn't understand that you're not in a position where you should be defensive. And I think like the relationship between her and Pat gives me the cringes and it creeps me out, not because he's still legally married. And she seems to have a hard time wrapping her mind around the reason why all of these questions keep coming up to her. Because also in the Black community, we've made it so regular, so normal for people to have these relationships and then go and have mini relationships over in any other place. Like a lot of people, especially Black people, and I'm only speaking from my own experience. So if you got something else to say, just drop down in the comments and let me know. But I feel like you'll run into Black people who will say like, oh, they know people who've been married for 20 years, ain't seen each other in 20 years, and they ain't never got no divorce. They just dating other people and fine, but at the point in which you are the person that makes that acceptable for a person, now you have to look inside yourself and really think about why that's okay for you. And see, that's what I mean by I stand true to my morals. My morals are, I'm not dating a married man. I'm not dating a married man. I'm not sleeping with a married man. I'm not entertaining for the possibility of a future with a married man. Now, to your point, does that mean that a person can't get married, find themselves in a situation where they are separated, and now they are both dating other people because the union is separated? And my answer is absolutely not, because we have to look at things as Black and white. You cannot live your entire life floating in the gray area. And I think that way because in the gray area, like anything goes. But if you really want to have boundaries, then you need to have Black and white, right? You need to know what's okay and what's not okay. So if I meet somebody and they let me know that they are they are separated, planning to get a divorce, then my next response to them would not be, well, I have to make sure I stay on the phone with you all night. You have to make sure you call me wherever you go and let me know you made it. Like, and I'm using those examples because that is what Clarissa described, how she was able to deduce that Papoose and Remy Ma were really over. Because of course, when all of this stuff hit the fan, and I'm not really sure what brought it out, what made it hit the fan, but part of what, when it did hit the fan, is Remy released like text messages or Instagram messages, and the messages were between Clarissa and Papoose, which Clarissa was telling him, would seem like she had gotten upset with him about not contacting her to let her know that he had made it wherever he was going, back to the Sprinter or wherever. Apparently he didn't do that. She was upset and like, well, that's not that hard. And so Remy releases all of this because she's saying, well, he didn't call you back because he was at my house. Or the one time that he fell asleep on the phone with you, he's, sleeping on my couch, which is disrespectful because, okay, you can be single. You out dating somebody, cool. How dare you come and sit up in my house and talk to the person? Yeah, we're not doing that. You talk about disrespect. So I get where Remy was coming from, kind of exposing him with that, but I'm going back to Clarissa. Like, I wish Clarissa had somebody like me in her life. And what I mean is because I used to really want to make everybody happy around me. Today I don't give a damn. And what I mean by I don't give a damn, because if you're around me, then you're going to be in good spirits. Like, I am not a negative Debbie Downer. If I feel like I got a bad, like attitude or something, I'm going to stay my tail right at home with myself. But if you see me out and about with the people, that means I am ready to have a good time. Same thing. If I jump on this live, I ain't jumped on this live to give y'all no sad sob story. I done jumped on here so we can have a good time. So with that being said, I would tell my friend the truth about what she has signed herself up for and the level that she stooped to. What is it? It's like he diminished her stock. Now she is adding to his, but he diminished hers. And I don't care that he's been in the rap game for 20, 30 years. Like, it means nothing. If you have enough time to drop everything that you're doing so that you can go run up behind this girl, that's a sorry ass man. You shouldn't even have that much time on your hands. I'm not saying that y'all can't spend all y'all time together. I'm just curious why he has that much time. And he also has a young daughter. So, yeah, why do you have that much time to be with her, to sit on the phone all night, to go everywhere y'all go? And see, for her, it feels like my man, right? He up under my skin. He everywhere I want to be. But you're not looking at it from a woman perspective of, is he providing what I need him to be able to provide? Or am I making this space so that his presence fills up enough? And I hate that for her, because that's what it feels like. It feels like all she needs is his presence. She doesn't need him to bring anything to the table. And listen, nobody's talking about it in the sense of how much that he is. I'm just saying in general, right? That's what I'm getting by to the time on your hands. Like, you got way too much time to be as grown as you are and able to engulf yourself into her business as quickly as you have done it. Like, red flags all over the place. And I feel like I know this because I spent a lot of time not just in a cycle of abuse, but also like out of it, being able to see it from outside of the abuse. Because a lot of times when you are in it, when you are in it, you won't be able to see the same things that even I see. Like if I said this to Clarissa, she's not going to really receive it. We already know that because she's already defensive about the relationship in general. So she's going to defend every single thing. Just like with going back to that clip we just listened to. He's saying, what about kids? She said, we having a baby next year. See, you willing to go ahead and have a baby with a man who jumped up, abandoned ship on the minor child that he already has, which you have no relationship with, but you do know that much. Like you got that much information. This lady is successful. She don't have any children. There is no reason why you are scraping the bottom of the barrel for you to get a man. There's no reason why. And again, we're going to have a baby next year. You are a damn fool if you don't make sure that man, A, gets a divorce, and B, marries you. Who is around her that is advising her that these things are good ideas? Oh, that's right. I was just talking to my son about how our community has made it so normal to have broken homes. So because having broken homes is so normal to everybody, we okay with people planning broken homes. Like, say what now? Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're literally planning to have a baby with a man who has abandoned the children or the child that he already had, that he begged that last person to have. And that is documented. The whole, begging her to have this baby, that's documented on television. That's not something that any of us are just assuming or made up. No, you can go back to Love and Hip Hop New York season, whatever it is, and you can go and check that season, and you can see that. And so that's what I mean. Like, how is it that you have not thought to yourself, like, is that the type of man that I really want? Because one thing about it, two things for sure. If he did it to her, he'll do it to you. His love for you he may be in love. So he has gotten her name tattooed on his arm this weekend. Of course, because it's been a mess, y'all. Remy dropped a diss song, and I feel like she did the song at Big Angie's like festival or picnic or whatever it is she was having. And then she actually just called out Papoose name. Listen, they rappers, I feel like I don't know if she went too far with it or not. I feel like that's kind of the culture in rap. And so I'm not really sure. I mean, listen, if it's true, I guess you would feel some kind of way because apparently he had enough time. See, this is what I'm talking about the time that he got. He had enough time to go hit his lawyers up and have them come up with a cease and desist for her about the diss track. So going back to this divorce, okay? Because every time Clarissa opens her mouth about Papoose in a way that she has to defend her relationship, the only thing I ever think is, well, let him get a divorce. I feel like about 60% of whatever she gets asked and 60% of all of the animosity or defensiveness that she feels going into certain interviews would disappear if that man would get his divorce finalized. This goes back to being a man who takes care of his business. Again, you are literally planning to have a child with someone who is still legally married to somebody else and also legally has obligations to a minor child that you don't have a relationship with. So with that being said, when is he taking care of his child outside of possibly just sending, child support or something? Right? Because y'all always together. You see how her defensiveness now just kind of even made him look like a shittier man, right? Like while you even trying to take up for him. So she had a different interview in which you know, you can hear the defensiveness in her voice again, where she's saying, well, you know, like if it didn't work out with Rem, you know, Pap wasn't supposed to be with somebody like me. Pap wasn't supposed to get the best of the best, the cream of the crop, X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, imagine thinking you are reading the internet and the words that you use actually end up reading yourself, because that's the very point why you don't need to be with him. You are at the top of your game. You are in a league of their own. And you need a man who's able to do just that. Not come and swoop in and get in where he fit in. And now I hope you ain't got him on the payroll. I don't know. I hope you do, as much as he around, because he might need to make some money. And maybe that's the way he gonna make it. So, you know, maybe he do need to be on the payroll. I'm not gonna say he a manager or anything, but he looking real creepish. I'm getting creep vibes. And also the fact that he won't go ahead and finalize this divorce, I'm getting creep vibes. Now, I think there was a post about certain people asking for certain things. Kind of, this is why this divorce has not been finalized. That's usually the case outside of maybe some, you know, regular people who they're not fighting over nothing. They just don't give a damn and living their life. But I feel like, again, because I don't deter from my morals often, at all, or quickly. And so, because I wholeheartedly believe that he should be divorced, what I'm saying is, if it means that much to you to start this relationship and to start this life with this young lady, then walk away. I mean, you already walked away, right? As long as you ain't taking care of your child and you're not in the same home with them, you already walked away. So get it all legal. Because another thing I'm going to tell you, Miss Clarissa, I'm not dating no man who I don't see take care of his kids. And again, if there's some issue about the child being able to come around me, that's a whole nother issue that's happening. It don't have nothing to do with a person being bitter, but it might have everything to do with how people handle their business. Because people who are co-parenting effectively, who've taken care of their business, gotten the divorces, they've worked out something where they're operating and dropping their kids off and picking them up. And while it may be strife in between there is a system that works, and that's what they're doing. What y'all doing over here is just janky as hell. And that's why you keep getting these like stupid interviews that you're getting. And you keep getting upset because you mad at the wrong person. Like, you need to be mad at yourself or get mad at Papoose. You need, like, instead of you got to sit on the phone with me all night. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's so high school. And it's not like, if I met somebody today, I'm 46 years old, so I think I'm 10 years older than Clarissa. But if I met somebody today and we just happen to fall asleep on the phone, fine, no big deal. But if at any moment in time, I feel like I need to request that you sit on the phone with me, no. I don't want to be in anything, any relationship, friendship, or otherwise, that requires that level of communication to trust you. No. The answer is no. And that's what, like, when us ladies, when we get caught up in these cycles of abuse, because I really, like, for me, I believe that Clarissa is in a cycle of abuse and she doesn't know it. And I feel like because she thinks she's the boxer and she's the stronger one, that she doesn't feel like she can end up in an abusive relationship. And also, I think most people equate abuse with physical, like with being harmed physically, and not really notice, because emotional abuse and like emotional manipulation, like that goes by so subtly for people. Because most of the time when somebody's doing it, what's happening is they're playing into your emotions. Like, so they know what's going to make you happy. They know what's going to make you, sad, upset, etc. So they will play into that. So that's what I mean. You kind of are taking this divorce thing and however long it takes, with a grain of salt. And she answered Kim. She's like, well, divorce take a lot of time. They gotta divide stuff and this and that. They got children. That sounds like something Pap told her. That sounds like something you regurgitating from that man. And that's all true also. Yeah, divorces do take time. Yeah, you do have to sort through things. Yeah, you do have to figure out, what's going to happen with your children. All of that is true. But you can still put your foot on his neck and make sure that let him know, like, hey, get this done, or we ain't talking until it is done. Him going to get his name tattooed on him this past weekend, like that just reminded me of what men do. I'll tell you what, I have 3 rings from my kid's father. He's never asked me to marry him. Okay. Now we may have discussed marriage. We may have discussed, getting married. We may have been very, very close to actually getting married. But what I'm going to tell you, and this is what I want you to remember, is that he never asked me. Now I have diamond rings, right? So for him, if somebody else was to say, why you ain't got her no ring? Because generally that's the way Black people ask about getting married, if you're gonna get a ring. Well, see, that didn't apply because I got the ring, right? So that's kind of, and even then, even when I got the ring, I remember telling him, friends, family, whoever, we're not engaged until he asks. I didn't care if I had the ring or whatever. Of course, I like the ring, but we're not engaged until he asks the question. And that's what I don't deter from my morals in my life, in when I'm speaking about these celebrities, and also for my friends and the people around me. I'm going to tell them the truth about what it is that's going on. Because I always want the best for everybody, myself included. And I don't like that. And I think that when we compromise on our morals, when we compromise on our standards, we never end up in the place you were trying to get to. Never. And that's what I really hope that Clarissa Sheilds could understand, is that, listen, you do deserve to be loved. You deserve somebody who is ready, willing, and able. You deserve somebody, like, if you want to be able to have your man with you every day, you deserve your man to do that. If you want to put your man on the payroll so that he can be with you every day without no worries and all that, you deserve that. What you don't deserve is some half-ass man coming over without cleaning up his old business and leaving that for you to clean up, leaving that for you to defend. That's what you don't deserve. And that's what he's bringing you. That's what I mean when I say he's bringing her stock down, right? Like, my mama used to say, we cut from a different cloth. Like, I don't know if they cut from a different cloth. They might come from the same cloth, but what I am saying is you somewhere different, sis, and you need to let him take care of his business until he able to come and join you the way that he needs to. In the words of Phaedra Parks, send you a clean man, honey. You deserve a clean man. Okay? That means a man without all that baggage. Now, I get it. That's not who you fell in love with. Sis, get him to get that divorce. He needs to get the divorce. And also, I'll tell you, sitting where everybody sits, it kind of tells me about y'all morals too. But this is another thing that I think Clarissa is not understanding, where it comes like her relationship with the public. Because it's really strained. And I think it's strained because she's trying to fight the internet. And girl, you cannot fight all of us. You just can't. And you can't fight us with the facts that you're spewing, because this fact trumps everything. That man is somebody else's husband. And so if Papoose dropped dead today, it will be Remy Ma that they calling to claim his body, to bury him, to do any of that stuff. Even though you done just spent the last 2 years with him every single day. So you think you know what I'm saying? You think you gotta be defensive over the internet? Like, girl, no. Wake up and listen. Figure out that even though she gets a lot of hate on this internet, but not everybody's like, because the comment doesn't sound like it agrees with you, doesn't mean it's hate towards you. Because like I say, I know I just be laughing at some of her responses, because I just be like, girl, like, ugh, you just going out bad every time you open your mouth. At least because I have a different understanding. That, like I said, with that clip, we're going to have a baby next year. That Cam is like, okay, like, do Pap know? I feel like that was the look Cam had on his face, is like, all right, like, do Pap know? Even with him asking about them living together. You know, Pap did an interview where he was asked if they live together. And I mean, I don't even think that man finished the sentence before he could get absolutely not out of his mouth. I don't even think he had completed that sentence altogether. And Pap is absolutely not, which I assume, I'm only going to say, I feel like his answer was so quick and, very direct like that because of these court proceedings. Like, there probably is some type of back and forth going on between the two of them in discussions about their child. And so I feel like that's the reason why he needed to make it very directly clear that they do not live together. But let me tell you what Clarissa did, because she didn't say, no, we don't live together. She didn't say that. But what she did say, she said, well, he has his place in New York. I have my place in Atlanta, but we always together. Like, he on his way up here right now. A man can be on their way up there with you right now and still playing games with you, sis. I've been there. That's what we're trying to tell you, honey. We have been there. He got all the time in the world to go be with you everywhere, get tattoos, write rap lyrics, but he can't make time to solidify this divorce. So you ain't got to answer that question no more. So the next time, once you get it final, so that be the last time. And the next thing we can talk about is, okay, because asking somebody who's still married to another person when they planning a wedding with somebody else, that is the work of the devil. That is the work of the devil, honey, because how? Sway? How do you do that? How? Yeah, I ain't think so. So listen, as Funky Darneva said, because I'm gonna wrap this up. I could go on and on and on about her, because I just don't like women defending raggedy ass men and raggedy ass man behavior. And then not only just defending it, but at the same time, copping attitudes, like we jealous. I tell you what, I ain't jealous of nobody who got to sleep with somebody else, man. I feel like I could drop the mic on that. I'm jealous of nobody who got to sleep with somebody else's man. Promise I'm not. Never ever been. I am Queen B, baby. Like, yeah, you don't listen. If you questioning things between me and another person, pick them. Pick them. I'm always the one, never the two, always the head, never the tail. Okay? Always. Now, sometimes we forget, ladies. Okay? Sometimes we get around people and they make us forget. Like, they try to put you at the tail, honey, and you end up somewhere in the middle. You're like, excuse me, I am the head. Okay? Please don't ever forget it. And that's the thing. We have to remember that so that when these clowns come into your life, you can send them right back to the circus. Send them right back to the circus. Because that's what a hell papoose needs to be. Now, I'm not trying to I don't want Clarissa to be no lonely bitter bitch. That is not what I want. I just want her to have somebody who can bring as much to the table as she do. And I don't mean that financially. I mean that in every aspect. Not attached to nobody else, no kids, all of it. I think she should be able to have her somebody just like that. And okay, and if Papoose is the one she chose, then at least let them get the divorce, sis. Like, set a boundary, especially before you go have that baby. Like, listen, I'm talking to my people now, black people. We got to stop. We have to stop perpetuating broken homes. We have to stop, encouraging women to continue to have broken homes. I am not trying to say people need to go have terminate their pregnancies or nothing. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that the lesson in the families, the lesson in the culture needs to be family. The lesson needs to be responsibility. The lesson needs to be accountability. When you are, like, for me, broken homes come from things that lack that. And somewhere, somebody, there's a black mom upholding a raggedy ass black son in that same manner who is perpetuating a broken home. How do I know? Because I've been there. I've been there, done that. Okay, been there. And baby, I ain't going back again, honey. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Okay? Shame on me. And when you say fool me a third time, baby, there won't be a third when you fooling with me. You ain't never met a bitch like me in your life, okay? Because I lets them go. For real. Like I said, my son's dad was the hardest one. And that's just because we have kids. And I was attached to making that work. Committed, okay, to making that work. And committed to having him in their lives. Now, he was in their lives. I'm not saying if it turned out the way I wanted it to turn out, because I don't think he added very much, right? And see, this was stuff I couldn't see. But I will tell you this, because I didn't have anybody who had that type of authority, who had that type of thinking, there was nobody around me to even fortify what I needed to hear in order to achieve that goal, right? So I ended up, in the end, sacrificing myself. And that's kind of what I feel Clarissa doing. That's what I feel like I see her doing. And that's the reason why this relationships give me the creeps, because it feels like the beginning of an abusive cycle. And like I said, I am not a therapist, okay? I'm just an expert on relationships because of the relationship I was in. And the signs to being in something like that are so subtle. And it's subtle just like what I'm describing with Clarissa. It's her defending true information by correcting it to make it true for you. You're in an abusive relationship, babe. And I wish she gets some better people around her about that. But I do agree with Funky Dineva. Listen, she's doing very well in boxing. What is she? A 2-time Olympian champion, I believe, like a medal Olympian. Not just went to the Olympics, but also won. And I love that for her. Right? I don't think that she is ugly. I don't like when people say stuff like that. And that's just, the empathy in my heart. I don't like people using ugly words with, to describe people and stuff like that's hurtful and mean. But so I don't think that she's ugly. I do think she can use some help with her dressing. I do think she is trying to dress like something that is out of her comfort zone. And so it looks awkward. Hopefully stylist Jay Bolin, because he said he shot his shot. And so I'm going to hope that she take him up on that, because I feel like he is a stylist, even though I think Jay Bolin's style is kind of like a play off of masculine, feminine, right? But not in this way where you're trying to have somebody like in drag look like they men. Type of deal, but I feel like he uses patterns and just like different pattern contrasts and different like fabric contrasts and things. And then, like I said, and I think there's this androgynous type of style to who he styles. Listen, it's all good. I ain't never really saw nothing that he did, and I was like, ugh. So I'm saying this to say, I think that he could capture the essence of Clarissa very well, because I think that that's what she's missing at this point. Is like you putting on stuff that you see everybody else wear because you feel like that's the look that you're going for, without kind of looking inside to see what represents you, right? Like if you don't walk in heels, if you don't know how to walk in stilettos, why do you have them on, girl? That's gonna make you look crazy. So you got, like, if you gotta go on and dress up a flat, or if you gotta go on and wear them, block heels, which I know she wear them, or the wedges, then do your thing. But yeah, sis, stop it. Stop trying to be something that you're not. That's what my favorite quote from Dr. Seuss is. Why fit in when you were made to stand out? When you are at the top of your game in something, it's not because you do the same thing everybody else do. Period. Keep that same energy. Be yourself. Find your style, experiment. But this like baddie aesthetic, I am over it. I'm over it. Y'all got 20-year-olds looking like they in their 40s. And they call that being a bad bitch. I call that being an old bitch, okay? Even though I'm 46 and I'm not old. But listen, y'all look older than me with all these wigs and makeup, pounds of makeup y'all put on. Find your style, Clarissa. I love you. And look, I hope we can have a conversation one day, because I say that with nothing but love. Baby, you deserve better than Papoose. And again, maybe, and listen, I just want him to bring something to the table. I don't want you feeling like he, like that's the way you talk about him too. Like he the prize. And I see him, he pop out every so often, my queen, he got your name tattooed. None of that mean a damn thing. In the words of Usher, go sign them papers. Got time for that? Can you afford that? Go sign them papers. And at the same time, whatever it is you got to walk away from it, walk away. Because which one you want more? The stuff or the new life? See, what I tell you, I'm not going to deviate from my morals and my values. So yeah, that's what Clarissa needs to do. All right, y'all, let me get on up off of here. I just wanted to pop in real quick and share that. I probably will do another live later on for Ultimate Girls Trip. I have to do episodes 1 and 2. So I might end up doing that later on. We'll see. I got some other stuff on the plans. If I don't, you know what? I might change that and do that tomorrow for lunch. We'll do girls trip. Yeah, ultimate girls trip tomorrow for lunch. All right, y'all. Listen, as usual, drop down in the comments. Let me know what your opinion is. Listen, do you think Clarissa found her Prince Charming? Or do you think she should probably require a little bit more before she goes all in and have a baby with this clown? I'm gonna call him a clown because until he gonna get his divorce, he is a clown as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. As usual, don't forget to like the video. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do. I promise that my episodes will get better. I am getting ready to complete a 15-week media production program. So with that being said, I hope that you will be able to see the difference in my future videos as I'm going through the course and also as I complete it, okay? I hope that I learned some things that can kind of elevate the channel. But listen, everybody who's sticking it out with me, I appreciate you. And make sure you do hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification button so you can be notified whenever I do put up another video or go live again. All right, y'all. Till the next time, y'all have a good rest of your day.
Who asked for this?
Goodbye, Kyle.
Said what I said, and I'm
always.
not changing on it, okay?
Goodbye, Kyle.
Who asked for this?
Here comes Peter bucking up his chest at me like he gonna do something.
Goodbye, Kyle.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the taste.
Who asked for this?
It could have been a scheme that Todd set up.
Goodbye, Kyle.